Welcome back to Central News. School holidays may seem far away for some, but for others, I'm sure they have lasting memories for those that engaged in the Bay of Plenty Rugby Union's holiday program. I'm here on Bay of Plenty Rugby territory, and today we chat with Kane, giving us an update on how it all went. Kane, if I remember correctly, the weather over, especially around Easter, wasn't that great. How did you combat this to ensure the kids got the true essence of the program?
I think you've been spending a bit too much time in Waikato, where the weather must have been pretty bad over there. But in the Bay, weather was awesome. There was one day, I think, especially after Easter, that we did have to cancel one program, but the other 5 days of the holiday program were really, really good, really sunny.
That's fantastic. In 3 programs, Tauranga, Whakatane and Rotorua, which area has some rising stars?
We've got some great rising stars in all 3 areas. Tauranga had 180 kids again, and there was a good amount of kids who were definitely rising stars, and they all varied in ages as well. A few 6 and 7 year olds who had some really mad skills, and then obviously a few 12 and 13 year olds who really well as well. And then I guess in Rotorua and Whakatane, where we only had about 20 each day, we still had some crazy little kids there too, so it's good to see that our talent is spread all the way across the Bay of Plenty.
And it must be real rewarding for you to see such great talent in such young kids.
Yeah, definitely, and just hopefully we can grab hold of that and keep them in the Bay of Plenty and see them playing for the Steamers in the next couple of years.
Cool. And what feedback have you had from the children and the parents?
Because it was such a big program, we had different skills being taught throughout the day. A lot of feedback on their favourite station. We had stations. Was they loved the bouncy castle. Everyone always seems to love the bouncy castle. We had other stations. We had kicking run by 2 Portuguese national players. Their English wasn't the best, but the kids thought it was a bit of a laugh. We had passing by one of our Steamers halfbacks. That went really well. We also had evasion by one of our boys, Lance McDonald, who used to be a Steamers player, plays Chiefs Development now. New Zealand Sevens player, and a Steamers player now, and that went really well as well. So all the kids loved it, but for some reason the bouncy castle always seems to be the favourite station.
That's quite crazy considering rugby and bouncing
goes
together. What did you enjoy most about the program?
I think the thing that I liked about the program was that I had so much help. We had at Tauranga we had about 20 staff to help out with holiday program. These were the staff that coached, and there was also boys from different colleges, Rotorua Boys High School, Tauranga Boys College, Te Poke High School, Mount Maunganui College, who all helped out with the kids. And then when we went to Rotorua and Whakatane, where there was only 20 kids, we still had about 20 staff, and a lot of kids got a lot of one-on-one time, and they really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good. Sometimes it's their one-on-one time that they really need and develop from it.
Exactly right. Instead of a coach taking a group of 30 kids.
Yeah. It's cool to see that community involvement stretching right across as
exactly
well.
Right. A big. It was huge for these college kids to give up their time to help out with 6 days of free work for them. They didn't get a T-shirt out of it, but they loved every single minute of it, and the kids loved them as well.
Awesome. Now, Ripper Rugby is fast approaching. Can you tell us where things are with this?
The Eastpac Ripper Rugby World Cup starts next week. We have the Tauranga tournament starting next week. We have, it must be 32 schools entering the tournament. We did expand it. It used to be 24. We expanded the tournament to cater for the teams that really wanted to get in. So 32 schools participating in next week's tournament. Then after that, we have the Rotorua tournament with 20 schools. Then we have Whakatane with 24 schools, so a lot of schools. That must be next to 70 if my maths is good, and a lot of kids involved.
Cool, that's great. And what sort of community involvement is needed?
With it must be 70 schools, so each school enters 2 teams, so 140 coaches, so 140 teams. So we obviously need 140 coaches to coach every single team. And then we need all of the referees as well. So at a tournament you get normally about 16 teams going, so we need about 16 referees for each tournament, plus the next 16 to jump on after the game after that. So there's a lot of community involvement that we need, and a lot of community involvement that we have. Yeah. So this is all sorted and everything's ticking along just fine. And of course parents on the sideline also go hand in hand with that community involvement. Exactly right. Without the parents, the kids aren't going to get there. And a lot of positive parent support as well. When we come to these Ripper Rugby tournaments, a lot of the parents on the sideline are positive and great to work with. And just before we finish up, what else is happening in your area of the Bay of Plenty Rugby Union? Junior rugby started last week, so a lot of the junior kids are playing now, so under 11s, under 6s, all the club rugby started up. Secondary school started also last week, so a lot of rugby is getting played at the moment, and a lot of places to go watch rugby, a lot of places to go referee rugby, and a lot of places just to be involved with rugby, I guess.
Thanks, Kane, for having us here today. Great to see some young kids rising up amongst the ranks in rugby. Now, if you want to see more or hear more about what is happening at the Bapenti Rugby Union, head to the website boprugby.co.nz. After the break, Amanda catches up with a young man that has survived all odds.